read a little something about the postbiotic because I want to make sure that I can like explain it the simplest way possible, okay? So the postbiotic is an ingredient that helps your gut send the healthiest signals to the rest of your body. So when your gut is healthier, your metabolism works more efficiently, your inflammation can come down, and your body is more likely to let go of that stubborn belly fat instead of hanging onto it. And so the whole goal of decreasing our body weight is really decreasing our visceral fat, which is the dangerous fat that is around your organs in your midsection, okay? As we age, that naturally is harder to lose because of hormone shifts and those kinds of things. But what our program does with these ingredients is it does help heal those things and release that fat faster and easier, but in a really healthy way, so you're not losing muscle, okay? The chromium picolinate is, I want you to think about this as like a traffic cop for sugar, okay? So every time you eat carbs, does everyone know when you eat carbs, that is actually turned into sugar for energy? Okay. So what that does is that it tells your body where the sugar needs to go. So the chromium helps the insulin do a better job to get the sugar into your muscles for energy instead of hanging around in your body, in your bloodstream, which then will be stored as fat. Okay. So like imagine it this way. Like I'm very visual, so picture this. Like picture your cells as little houses, okay? And they have locked doors. Well, insulin is the key that unlocks these doors, and the chromium helps the key work better. So the sugar gets to where it's supposed to go, okay? So that's why this is where Rebecca was talking about, you're going to feel, fewer cravings, less of an afternoon crash, more steady energy throughout the day. I'm in the refine phase, but I am doing a 5-in-1 reset right now because I want to feel all of these effects. And that is the first thing that I notice. I've been eating, these fuelings for 2 days, and it's the energy and the focus that I'm really noticing, like, that is just so significant. So I love that. Okay. And then choline, like what Kristen was talking about, this is basically like helping your liver clean house, okay? So we know that your liver is basically the thing that really filters all the bad stuff, right? So this is basically just enhancing that and really helps you get, package up that fat and get it out of your body once you're releasing that. So that is just the easiest way to explain what the 3 do. But what I really want you guys to come away with is just know that these ingredients are amazing for your body, and they really do help heal your metabolism from the inside out. That's really the main thing. So we love to give you the science behind it, and so a lot of people want to know why, but really I just want you guys to feel confident that you're putting really amazing things into your body. And these feelings are still the same as far as macro balanced. And so it's just really, literally the best thing you can do if you're on a GLP-1, if you're, wanting to reduce visceral fat, if you're wanting to improve muscle mass and decrease, body fat, even if you're all in the green, which is where I am, because anytime you get your visceral fat below 6, so ideally is anywhere between 3 and 5, honestly, the healthier your whole body is, and it decreases literally every single disease risk for you. Okay.
There's some questions in the chat. I think this is a really good one for both of us to address. This is, will this ingredients cause issue for diabetics on insulin, or for those using GLP-1s as well? It's amazing, you guys. This is the balancing your blood sugar. There's nothing, okay, now maybe there is magic in the fuelings because we've got the Med Advantage. We've always said it's like magic powder, and really the magic behind it before this Med Advantage stuff was the balancing of the blood sugar. That is still the key, okay? It is perfect. A lot of clients that I see that are on GLP-1s have been on GLP-1s and eaten a burger a day, and they're coming to me because they can't get up off the floor because they're a teacher, literally a 27-year-old woman. teacher can't get off the floor because her muscle mass she's lost so much muscle mass because she hasn't been doing the right way, and now we're helping to build muscle back, okay? If you're on a GLP-1, I love that, okay? It is a tool, and you have to have the proper nutrition paired with it and a plan when you're ready to come off of it. So the habits plus the nutrition, okay, are very, very, very important. Real quick, I did want to say one thing just to like tag on to what Audrey said, is just that, you know, and what I said earlier is like, this isn't a new name on a box, okay? The conversation for this has become bigger than that number on the scale. We've been so focused on that number on the scale, that one number. If you do not have a Renfro scale, some coach put a link for the Renfro scale on Amazon in the chat, because you'll have one tomorrow, okay? We're talking about metabolic health now, you guys. The stuff that creates that longevity of health for you with quality weight loss. Not just weight loss, not that one number, okay, where you're protecting your lean muscle mass. Your lean muscle mass is what is responsible for your metabolism, okay? So if you say, I don't have a good metabolism, we gotta strength train, we gotta do some things, we gotta get rid of the fat too, okay? This program, as long as you're using it with your coach, you will protect your lean muscle mass, okay? Visceral fat, that's the bad fat that surrounds your organs, it chokes your organs, okay? Your insulin function, if your visceral fat is high, again, that's the fat around your organs, your insulin function will be high, okay? It will not be functioning, your insulin will be high. It basically creates, it's basically like another organ in your body, and that's what creates the food noise, okay? So you're gonna see the weight drop, you're gonna see the visceral fat drop, and your body fat percentage drop first, okay? And then gut health, okay? We have just, TRILIVY has just made this process simple enough to actually live with, where you're not having to think about one more thing besides opening a package of food 5 times a day, drinking your water and your electrolytes. This is not urine, it's electrolytes, and eating your lean and green. Okay, that's it, you guys. My smartest clients try to make this so hard. And if that's you, I want you to lean into the simplicity of this program. I didn't say easy, because this gets in the way, but it is simple. Do yourself a favor and just lean into that. What questions do we have? Let's see.
I think someone asked about, it sounds like this program is for diabetics. Is it okay? Let me see, where was that? Okay, so every single person, human on the planet, benefits from eating to stabilize your blood sugar. So think about, and that is a really great question. So think about children and infants, okay? I have the neonatal nurse background, so I always kind of think of this. And that's what, like, this way, and how, like, little, like, babies and little children eat, right? Because they don't know any better, and they haven't been really, like, influenced by just the culture of large meals. How do children usually eat? Do they snack throughout the day? Do they eat, 6 to 7 times? Absolutely, because they intuitively, their body is craving that blood sugar stability. So we're really created to eat this way. Our culture has said that we need to eat these 3 big bulk meals a day, which is really unfortunate, because that's where you get the spikes and the drops, and it's created a lot of these habits for us growing up. And so I love that our program teaches kind of getting back to these healthier habits. And I've kind of watched, like a lot of my healthy friends just, and you make note too, like, you'll see, how they eat throughout the day, and is you're eating really frequently. So that's what I love, again, about our fuelings, and the way that they are basically macros for dummies. And so they're the training wheels until you get to where you need to be. And as you're learning, then you can learn how to do whole food combinations. That's what we've always taught. We'll continue to teach that. And with these new enhancements, it just really helps even more healing. So
Kelly Holloway has got a couple of questions that I think are really good that probably a lot of people have. My hair is doing nowhere today. Okay, there we go. Will we be dependent on the new fueling ingredients for life? No, you will not. Okay, okay. You know when you take a medication to heal something, this is the same thing. Like, we're healing your body from the inside, and you're gonna see it on the outside. You'll see it in your blood work too, okay? But you guys were healing your body from the inside. If you want to be, I will say this, if you do not have the habits in place, you will be dependent on this, okay? Right? Because the habits
That's
are
exciting.
It is very exciting, Melissa Tarleton. It's perfect. It is so exciting, okay? The reset phase is the shortest phase that you should be in, okay? And I absolutely love, because it's like, okay, I lost the weight, now what? Right? And with the way that TRILIVY has designed the structure of this, we now have the reset, okay? Not all green on your Renfro scale. The refine where Audrey is, where she's tweaking some things, okay? And then the renew phase. Eventually there were probably, I don't know all this information, there's probably going to be products for everything just to make it easy for you. You should still, once you hit your goal, you should still be eating 6 times a day, because remember what I said earlier? It's about the balancing of the blood sugar. If you go back to your old habits, you will gain the weight back. Period in a paragraph. You should be fueling your mouth, your body, and your brain. Okay? That's the other magic pill. Okay.
And this is one other thing that I want to say, and then we can answer whatever you were going to look at, Rebecca. Just speaking to that and the different phases, one of my newer clients is an ultra marathoner. He's like in his early 50s and he's super fit. But what he loves about our fuelings and, our active line and our ascend line, and now, these new fuelings, that it does really help him maximize his nutrition. Okay. So does he eat mostly whole foods? Yes. But does he use our fuelings as snacks in between? Does he utilize our ascend line and our active line in his training? Absolutely. And that is what this is for when you get to that phase. He's in the renew, right? But if he's going to be running 100 miles, he's got to prep for that. Okay. So I just want you to think, like, long term, these are great tools long term. It just depends on how you use them. And like Rebecca said, the reset phase is the shortest. The whole 5-in-1 active, 5-in-1 with the aminos is the shortest phase. And then you change and move out of that. And you do that with your coach, with the help of your coach and the education that you're learning as you focus on your habits, the new client hub, and all these amazing tools that we have.
Okay, let me check in the chat here. Somebody asked about processed foods. You guys, come on. Like, the meat that you eat is processed. Like, give me a break. It's healthy. Okay, you're going to go now to get a bag of Doritos, right? It's just healthy snacks. Like, healthy ingredients, and everything is processed.
This is how I look at that whole question. And it's a great question. I totally get it. But there's very few people that can eat a completely whole foods diet and that it be there's no processing involved. Kudos if you can. And of course that is, our goal. That would be ideal, that our lifestyle and, is just not conducive to that all the time. And so it's really good to have these options long term. I had a garden, I have cows, chickens, I've had it all, but really anything that you're not growing out of the ground, and even the seeds are actually, there's some sort of process that is involved with getting the seeds. So this is really the healthiest prepackaged food out there. Think about walking into Whole Foods and getting an organic brownie mix. Well, it's full of sugar. It's organic cane sugar, but it's still going to spike your blood sugar. This is balanced perfectly for you, the perfect macros to keep your blood sugar stable.
Okay, we're getting some questions too in the chat, and then